The thoughts there of Whitehaven head coach Anthony Money after I caught up with him earlier this week after the Whitehaven's Thursday training session. You're joining us here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. We'll run through your two lineups once more, starting with the home side. In Whitehaven, they line up debutant Cole Walker-Taylor in at fullback. Second debut for Dave Eccleston on the wings alongside Mitchell Todd. In the centres, Jordan Burns, captain, and Ethan Bickerdike. Starting halfbacks, Kieran Walker and Jack Newbeck. In starting props, Jordan Thompson, and a third debut for Mark Shackley, 6,517 days from his first one back in March 2008 in a Northern Rail Cup tie against Halifax. Second rowers Connor Holliday and Rio McQuiston. Jack Kellett in at loose forward. On the interchange bench, birthday boy Brad Brennan, Ben Pearce will also make his debut, Aaron Turnbull and Brett Bailey. Lewis Brown, the 18th man, if needed for Whitehaven this afternoon. For the Eagles, they line up with Matty Marsh on his 200th career appearance in at fullback. Joe Brown and Billy Walkley on the wings with Kieran Gill and Josh Hodgson. In the centres, it's a half-back partnership of Kai Morgan and Jordan Lilly. Massey Matongo and Martin Riley are the starting props with Harry Bowes in at hooker. Second rows, it's Connor Bauer, who also celebrates his birthday today, alongside Joel Farrell. Jack Bussey also in at loose forward. On the interchange bench, the Cumbrian Connor Fitzsimmons, Cody Johnson, George Griffin and Lewis Peachy. The 18th man, if needed this afternoon, is Alex Foster. Is Des, but Championship Rugby League returns to BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, returns to the recreation ground, and it'll be Sheffield Eagles to get the game underway. Just waiting for it. Go on, Pete.
Yeah, it's Sheffield to kick off from the right hand side. They're attacking the Kells end, so it's the first sets. There'll be a tester on how the game's going to go.
Certainly will be, as Mark Shackley's the man to fetch the ball forward from kick-off. Made it to around about his own 15-metre line before being brought down. Jordan Thompson now looking to fetch Whitehaven forward, brought down just over the 20-metre line with 21-22 metres. Holgate in at dummy half, comes right into the hands of Newbeck in, finds Connor Holliday celebrating his testimonial season this year. Is Connor. Holgate goes left now into the hands of Jack Kellett, just on the shoulder of Jack Kellett. Shouts of a high tackle from Jack Bussey, but was on his shoulder. Holgate once more in at dummy half, goes left into Jordan Thompson, taken down on the 5 and last, 35 metres out from their own line, goes left into the hands of Kieran Walker. Kicking games you'd imagine being pivotal this afternoon, bounces kindly into the hands of Matty Marsh, sort of 20 metres away from his own line, looking to straighten up. Newbeck in, Holliday and Shackley all involved in the tackle, looking to push the Eagles full-back back.
Yeah, you're going to get the outside backs going to come in today to get some ball, just to take the heat off the guys moving forward. But I could say with Whitehaven's first set there, I mean Sheffield were right up and at them, and they really stopped their yardage.
Joel Farrell, man, the captain to take the Eagles forward, 9 short of halfway. Ball's in there at dummy half, finds Martin Riley. Mid-season move to the Vikings in 2024, and then a mid-season move to the Eagles last year. Brought down, put down onto his back, still short of halfway. Massey Matongo now looking to take his side forward, tries to escape away from Mark Shackley, but doesn't do so. Over the halfway line now, and what is the 5 and last, just to the right of centre, goes right, goes through the hands of Lilly, and can they put pressure on him? They can put pressure on him. It's Rio McQuiston, and it's collected on the full by Jack Kellett. A scruffy end to the set means Whitehaven will start 15 short of halfway, Pete.
Yeah, that's good pressure from Whitehaven with the first defensive set. They've got to put pressure on Jordan Lilly. He's going to be pivotal to this game. Obviously, he's one of the playmakers there. So what you're going to be doing is putting pressures on the playmakers and really going at them in attack, and see if you can find them and take a bit of juice out of them.
Great running from Dave Eccleston. Takes Whitehaven over halfway. Newbeck in finds Shackley. How great is it to see Mark Shackley out there? 4.5 years almost since he was forced to retire. He's now get up and plays the ball. Kellett in there, comes right now to Connor Holliday, trying to find a gap. Jordan Burns in at centre this afternoon, the Whitehaven captain, but didn't have too much to go. Calling for a crusher tackle there on Jordan Burns.
It's a bit of a poor pass from Connor Holliday, to tell you the truth. He should have dummied and maybe went through, but
it is the 5 and last. Jordan Burns just having a word with the marker, which was Hodgson. Kick comes in from Newbegin, is it just going to hold up? Is it just going to go dead? It's a little bit too deep for Newbegin. Maybe you expect it to be a little bit softer and a little bit wetter at that end. It's going to be a top 20 and a 7 tackle set here for the Sheffield Eagles.
Yeah, well, they're the sort of the little differences that you can do. I mean, whereas they're maybe getting tackled about 5 or 6 yards off the line, it just rolled dead, and so really take a bit of pressure off them and the kick. But I mean, it's a lot different than standing on the 20-yard line and as well as the other one.
Looking to come down this left-hand side edge through Matty Marsh. He steps back inside. Does the full-back. Holgate and Newbegin. Effect on the tackle. Ball's in there at dummy half. Just short of halfway. Riley finds now Lilly. Lilly then just pops it up for the back row in Connor Bauer. Bauer's going to be brought down exactly on halfway. Just to the right of centre. Bauer's in there at dummy half. Will scoot himself from dummy half. Will Harry Bowes make 10-11 metres on that. Lilly in there at dummy half now comes into the middle with Bussey, and Bussey will look to shape the dummy and calls for a high tackle on his shoulder from Mark Shackley. 4 of the Whitehaven defenders involved in there, and what is now 5 and last, however 6 again then in favour of the Eagles. So this will be 13 tackles if Whitehaven hold out. It's going to be a huge defensive effort. Martin Riley will be the man that's taken down.
The forwards rushing back. I mean, they've got the outside backs just to take a bit of heat off them with the ball. So, you know, they're saving a bit of energy there.
Continue to look to take the ball forward here. Do the Eagles through Martin Riley. Ball's looks forward from here. Lilly finds Matty Marsh. Bussey taken out in back play. Is he going to come back for that one? Or they're going to take the Eagles man over the line? They're not. 15 metres out, but it was only half a yard in from the popular side touchline. Kellett gets the tackle in, met by with Caden Walker and Jordan Thompson as well. It is the 5 and last, 11 metres out or so are the Eagles. Comes left, Lilly with a crossfield kick, searching for Billy Walkley. Comes off the shoulder of Dave Eccleston. Play that, it will be a fresh set of 6s here, or can get them over the touchline. They can get him over the touchline. So is he going to give the knock on, or is he going to give the turnover ball? You'd imagine it'll be the knock on that comes in. We're just waiting for confirmation of that. No, says not played that. He's got really lucky there, we'll be honest, is Dave Eccleston. I think bemusement on your face there, Peter Smith.
Yeah, it just bounced off his shoulder, and you know, and if you're looking at that, that's a knock on. So really all the advantage should be with Sheffield, but you know, the referee's made that call there, and at the end of the day it's down to him.
And Whitehaven will take any advantage that can get out there this afternoon. Jordan Burns is the man to take Whitehaven forward. We're just into the 8th minute here at the recreation ground. Still 0-0. Whitehaven 0, Sheffield Eagles 0. Whitehaven struggling to find some go forward here. The Eagles defence trying to get on top of them. They're 22 metres away from their own line. Holgate's trying to help. It's scooting out to dummy half. Makes 10, 11, 12 metres there. Does Ellison Holgate before being taken down. 16, 17 metres short of halfway, goes left into the hands of Kieran Walker. Walker potentially looking for the 40-20 if he can get the bounce. It's not going to quite get the angle he needs, but it is a good kick. Matty Marsh collects it 11 metres away from his own line, and the defensive chase from Whitehaven is strong.
Yeah, it's a better kick from Kieran Walker. You know, on any other day, a bit drier day, it might have been a 40-20, but as I say, it was a good kick there. It was a good chase, and you know, and as we said before, you know, the Sheffield forwards are just walking back, letting the outside backs doing their work for them.
Looking to fetch this ball forward are the Eagles through Billy Walkley. Practically on the other side of the field, he's the winger, but he's being pushed back, gets the offload away into the hands of Faddle, I think, that might have dived on. It's not Faddle. Who was it? It's the other second row, Connor Bauer. Lost his side, some momentum there. Potential looking now for the 20-40s, Jordan Lilly. Well, he hasn't got the angle on it, and he's not going to get near it on that, but it is a good clearing kick. Walker Taylor collects it 28 metres away from his own line, looking to try and get past the Eagles forwards here, but he's brought down by a combination of Massi Matongo and Harry Bowles. Good defensive effort there from Whitehaven, putting the pressure on, Pete.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it was a good defensive set from them, and really they were forcing Sheffield into doing something that they're not really doing by offloading the ball, the same as what Mark Shackley did in Whitehaven's 20 before. So really, ball security is going to play a massive part in this game.
Whitehaven 40 metres out through Rio McQuiston into the hands now of Kieran Walker. Walker takes it to the line, then comes out and finds Newbegin, then finds Cole Walker Taylor. Taylor elects to straighten up. 33 metres out.
Sorry, if you notice there, Geordie, I mean, the line from Sheffield, nobody jumped out there, nobody created a bit of space for Whitehaven to go. They were just solid all around there.
25 metres out here on the 5 and last. Shackley plays the ball, comes right to Newbegin. Newbegin gets the kick towards the corner. Dave Eccleston's on the chase, Jordan Burns is on the chase, collected very well by Billy Walkley, then called offside at Whitehaven. I don't know if it's Eccleston or Burns, maybe both, but it means it's the first penalty of the afternoon to the Eagles, around 10 minutes gone. Yeah,
he's give offside there. And again, you know, I mentioned from that kick from before that they've just got to tighten up these little things, little 5%ers that they've got to be doing, so you know they can make Sheffield force the ball out of their own line, and you know not make any errors. But as I said, Whitehaven's going against the referee's wrath.
I said before the start of the game, Pete, that the kicking game's important, but it's them sort of, like you say, 2 or 3%ers. That chase has got to be right to ensure you can put the pressure on. You don't find yourself offside and gift your opponents 30 metres.
Yeah, that's where you've got to be disciplined off the ball as well. So you've got to be smart.
So Matsongo takes Sheffield over halfway. There's 4 Whitehaven defenders in there. Shackley and Newbegin are the first ones off. Thompson and Kellett in at marker. Goes right into the hands now of Jordan Lilly. Lilly will just pop it up to Jack Bussey. Bussey trying to escape, but he's going to be forced back as well. Great defence once more from Whitehaven. The pitch not cutting up maybe as you'd expect just yet, but we are only sort of 11 minutes or so in here at the recreation ground. Lilly now, ball out to Hodgson. Now finds Joel Farrell. Farrell trying to straighten up, and he's going to get away from Rio McQuiston. He does actually get away from Rio McQuiston, and we've got a penalty then for a high tackle eventually. I don't think it was the shot from McQuiston. I think it's eventually another shot on Farrell, but McQuiston was the first it up. Did have a scrum hat on, decided it's not for him this afternoon. He's taken it off and scopped it towards the physio. Penalty to the Sheffield Eagles once more.
Yeah, it's one of the things I don't like about the modern game where players are just throwing their hands up in the air and expecting a penalty or trying to get a penalty. So, you know, it's making them sort of dishonest in a way.
Eagles elected to tap 20 metres out now on the first tackle. Goes right from dummy half to Lilly. Now finds Hodgson, and it's going to be easy. Great work from Biggerdike, but then looking to get the pass away. Shorts it forward from the grandstand behind me. They're a long way away from it. Looking to go down the short side now. Back inside then to Hodgson once more. And Hodgson then going to be wrapped up by Ellison Holgate. And we've got a stoppage.
The physio's right on there.
Right in there. It was Ethan Biggerdike that was down.
Looks like a head knock or a neck injury.
Yeah. If he can't continue, we've already remarked on Whitehaven's heavy forward bench, Pete, so there'd have to be a reshuffle out there, as you well know as a coach yourself. You don't very often carry, centres or wingers on your bench.
I'm sure he'll have allowed for, who's going to move into there, considering they've got a very strong.
He's having to go off with a HIA. Is Ethan Biggerdike. So, Connor Holliday at the centre, Kelly at the back row, looks someone like a... I don't know, we'll find out in a minute. It's Ben Pearce, it's coming on. He could slide in at that back row position and just... If Connor Holiday does have to go on that side and slide in there, so it's definitely going to be a HIA here for Ethan Bickerdike. But yeah, the physio, who was already in back play anyways, straight away realised he needed to get in there, didn't he? So
yeah, give him his due. He was right on the field there, and he saw something that obviously he didn't like. So he's got to look after the players' welfare on this occasion. So give the physio his due there.
So it's Ben Pearce on for his Whitehaven debut. Spent time in the academies of Newcastle Thunder and Warrington as Ben Pearce before coming in, and it's gone on report. So the match review panel will take a look at that. I mean, I didn't see anything from here, but our view was obstructed, Pete. So if it's still Paul Cullen and his guys, they'll be taking a look on that one over the next day or two.
Yeah, more than likely they'll be having a look at it. But as I say, all well and good to the physio on that occasion, because he spotted a sign.
Massimo Tongo just taken down 2 metres away, attacking the Kells end in this first half. He's going to have to stop it. The post pattern's come off. The Sheffield Eagles knocking over the line. Yeah, we're going to have another stoppage. Like I said, the post padding's come off on that occasion. We mentioned earlier on how when Massimo Tongo was close to the line, the post padding had helped them, Pete. It's maybe just come to the aid of Whitehaven again indirectly once more.
Oh, surely the physio's on there, and surely the groundsman should have been right on with that one to put that up. How tricky to be, but no, it's slowed it down, and it gives Whitehaven a chance to sort their defence out.
Yeah, referee Kevin Moot. It's Kieran Walker who's actually put it back on. Is he just taking a double look? He's happy with that. It is the 5 and last. Just slowed it down initially now. Lilly looking to get the kick in towards the corner. Cole Walker-Taylor's in there, and it is a tap 20. Like you say, come to the aid there of Whitehaven. They're able to get that defensive line reset. It's eventually then an error, and it's now Cole Walker-Taylor. This will be 0 tackle, Pete. 30 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, they defended it well there, and the crowd are trying to put a bit of pressure on the referee to give a penalty away, but I say it's getting a lot dusky in that now, where I would have thought the lights might have come on as well.
Yeah, they might do. You might have thought they'd have been on before kick-off with what a grey afternoon it is here at the recreation ground. But Whitehaven man, he's taken down. It's McQuiston who will play the ball. Comes across the line from Kieran Walker. Shackley now taking it forward, brought down just short of halfway is Mark Shackley, goes left into the hands of Kieran Walker. Walker looking to go, nearly breaks through there, does Kieran Walker. Holgate in a dummy half, 35 metres or so out here to Whitehaven. Jordan Thompson takes Whitehaven over that 30 metre line, 5 and last, 28 metres out, just in line with the left hand side post. Go left wall Whitehaven, into the hands of Kieran Walker, put the kick in towards the corner, and it's into the hands of Joe Brown on that side. Ben Pearce wraps him up straight away. Not too much attacking threat after that kick, Pete.
Yeah, a good set as well, and they've got Sheffield where they want them, in their own 10-yard line, so that they can rush them in defence there and maybe force an error.
14 minutes gone, pretty even game. Whitehaven stayed within the contest.
Yeah, you'd think that Sheffield's are the majority of the yardage, but as I say, if Whitehaven can just hang in there.
Craig Lingard not seeing maybe what he likes out there, and he's going to put Connor Fitzsimmons on. Knows his conditions fairly well, being a Seaton native, of course, and looking to take this ball forward is the Eagles, but then Whitehaven's defensive effort pushing him back. He replaces Mossy Matsongo for the first official substitute of the game. Jordan Lilly will put the kick in. Connor Fitzsimmons is going to have to give them at least 10 metres here, because he was in front of that with just coming onto the field. He does give them 10. Walker-Taylor collects before finding Dave Eccleston. Nearly through the line there is Dave Eccleston. Onto his front. Walker in there at dummy half. Now finds Cole Walker-Taylor. Trying to call for offside against the Eagles here are the grandstand behind us.
You just look at the shape on Wider and they're fetching it out there. I mean, they're all bunched up, and these are one of the things that Anthony Murray can look at in the video. Really, just pull them out and spread them. But it's going to create everything. Everything comes down to on games like this, everything comes down to 2 versus 1, and if you can just spread your team, spread your
half. Comes right into the hands then of Connor Fitzsimmons. Into the hands now with Lilly. Lilly throws a dummy. He's nearly through the gap there. He's Jordan Lilly. Brought down 10 metres out. Into the hands now of Martin Riley. Finds Connor Fitzsimmons. Calls her forward again from the Whitehaven public. Fitzsimmons bores in there at dummy half. Goes right. Bounces into the hands of Jordan Lilly. Into the hands of the back rower, Connor Bauer. And Bauer's going to be taken down. It is the 5 and last. Whitehaven one more tackle to survive, looking to go down that short side with Caden Gill. Gill's just going to be brought down just short of the line. Another good defensive effort, but it's going to have to be some more. Been looking for is Jack Newbegin pins it into touch. He'll probably wanted an extra 5-10 metres on that one, but Dave Eccleston will collect this, and it'll be Jordan Burns to take the tap 40 metres away from his own line, 10 short of halfway. Gets to the cross centre, Brett Bailey. Fitzsimmons will put the shot in on him before being joined by Martin Riley. In the centre of the field now, Holgate in there at dummy half, goes left into the hands of Brad Brennan. He'll take Whitehaven over halfway, does the prop forward. 2 metres or so over halfway. 18 and a half on the clock as we make it. Holgate goes in, trying to find a gap there is Ellison Holgate. Jack Newbegin get the offload away. Newbegin put down onto his back. 35 or so metres out. It's getting dark out there. Going to hit them lights on. Goes left into the hands now of Walker. Finds then Rio McQuiston. Put down onto his back is McQuiston. Furthest Whitehaven have been up the field with ball in hand for a while. Into the hands now of Jack Kellett. So a couple of tackles left in the bank, about 18 metres out. Oh, he's the 5 and last to the left hand side of the post. Holgate's going to go himself. I don't think he's heard the 5 and last call. Gets the offload away. Brad Brennan shaped a kick. Don't think he fooled anyone, in all honesty, Pete. Turnover ball. I don't think Ellison Holgate heard that 5 and last call.
No, he can't have done it. It was a bit of a poor finish to the end. As I said, they got all the way to the Sheffield 10 metre line, and it went to a prop who threw an outrageous dummy, but didn't even put anything on, just so that they could finish it and put a bit of pressure on the on the Sheffield line.
Another interchange for the Sheffield Eagles. George Griffin's out there now, sporting a new haircut. I'm sure he had hair in Super League, Pete, I'll be honest with you, playing for the Gasford Tigers. Hasn't got any out there this afternoon, but it is now Jack Bussey to fetch it forward. He gets the offload away, and it's into the hands now of Connor Bauer. Bauer then finds Caden Gill, and this is where the Eagles will be dangerous, especially with Caden Gill. Gets the offload away to Matty Marsh. However, that pass from Gill to Marsh is forward. Hasn't liked it. Something there as Caden Gill stepped up and pushed Jack Kellett, and there's a meeting of minds. And of course these days we're not going to see any punches thrown, we're not going to see too much. Just isn't worth the ban these days. But
well, every so-called punch now it's on a bungee rope, so you're not going to throw it. You're just throwing it back in anger, and you're not going to make contact with anyone.
You're definitely not going to throw a punch that's going to connect, because you're going to get in the minimum probably a 3 or 4 game ban out there. But he's just having a word with his touch judge, his referee Kevin Moore. I mean, it was Caden Gill that reacted first. Whether something's gone on before that I haven't seen, I'm not too sure, but he seems to be calling Caden Gill out here. So if there is going to be any sort of infringement or anything like that, I think he's just calling the captains out here. Is Kevin Moore, probably just to say that is your first and last warning, Pete.
Yeah, as I say, we're struggling to see ourselves with the lights not going on, but there's a couple of things that's maybe going to miss. Is Howard going to fire them on now, I think, but there's a couple of things that's going to miss, and give the referees due. He hasn't given a lot of penalties away in this first half, but it's a scrum down now and head and feed to Whitehaven on the 40-metre line.
Yeah, scrum down, head and feed. One thing we won't see or shouldn't see at scrums this year is now the ball being held in the scrum. Immediate penalty. If you've been teaching about your boys that, they'll have to get that in, so get that out to Arsenal. Or am I giving them too much credit to even think about it there, Pete? Just to laughter on your face.
That's true, George. We'll just leave it at that then.
He's going to be scrummed down, head and feed to Whitehaven. Ball comes out right into the hands then of Jordan Burns. Burns is going to be taken down. Ball and all tackled by the winger Billy Walkley, and it's Connor Holliday now. Bussey's in there, Faddle's in there, Fitzsimmons is in there. It's a strong forward pack. Not happy with the attention that Connor Holliday's got from Connor Fitzsimmons there. Ball comes right into the hands now of Jordan Burns. Steps inside and Fitzsimmons is involved once more. Stepped around Joel Faddle. Holgate in there at dummy half, 38 metres out into the hands of Newbegin. He'll find Kellett, and Kellett is having to try and escape. And it is Kellett who'll play the ball. Goes into the hands of Kieran Walker. Walker looks to get the kick in towards the corner. That will hold up. Ben Pearce is on. Ben Pearce is there. He's had to kick it dead as Matty Marsh. Good chase on. It was the only chaser from Ben was Ben Pearce, but well weighted kick from Kieran Walker, and Matty Marsh has had to deal with it.
Kieran Walker has gone well this half. The first 20 odd minutes he's done well. He's bossed it and he's taken it to the line, and that kick there was just what was needed. As I said, just to take the heat off there before with a couple of power kicks. But as I say, he just put it like inch perfect there on that one, and that's a hell of a lot better for Whitehaven.
Jordan Lilly with a drop out. It'll bounce in front of Jack Newbegin and bounce kindly. Brett Bailey will be the man to take it forward here, and he's met by 3 Sheffield Eagles defenders. Bussey, Fitzsimmons and Joel Faddle. Reminds me why I don't play rugby league run it towards them, Pete. I'll be completely honest. But Brad Bennon's now the man to run it forward, and he's 20 metres out. Whitehaven knocking on the door here. Holgate in at dummy half. Elects to go left into the hands now of Newbegin. Now finds Walker. Walker shapes to dummy and nearly he's through there. He's Kieran Walker within 10 metres now of Whitehaven to the left hand side. Cole Walker Taylor will dive in from dummy half, and he's going to be taken down after scooting 3-4 metres out here to Whitehaven. Comes into the hands then, is it of Brett Bailey? Looks to be easy, yeah, just down. It's the 5 and last. Comes right into the hands of Jack Kellett. Kellett, is he over? Oh, just held up or brought down short. He's Jack Kellett. Seen that so often last season from Jack Kellett. But the Eagles defence wise to it and just able to bring him down about half a metre, if that, short of the line.
Well, that's just as good as the kick that went in before. They've took a bit of gas out of Sheffield's tank there, and they've made them defend their own line with a lot of gusto, and really it's good work, and that might prove pivotal later on in the game.
The Eagles brought down. Ethan Bickerdike looks like he's going to be okay to return to the fray. Play the ball to the Eagles, goes right. Is it Connor Bauer looking to come on? It will be. Ethan Bickerdike's okay to continue, so it'll be Ben Pearce. Oh no, they can sort of change it about, so they're going to bring a pop forward off maybe. We'll wait and see. But the Eagles man's going to be wrapped up 35 metres away. They've done well in this set to make as many metres as they've had so far. Into the hands now of Jordan Lilly. Some advice from behind us, get hold of him. That's normally great advice in a rugby league game. But into the hands now of Kai Morgan on the 5 and last, gets the kick away. Collected on the full by Dave Eccleston. Adam Turnbull getting ready to go out, and it'll be Ethan Bickerdike getting ready to come back on as well. Obviously after passing his HIA assessment, Jack Kellett is the man that's gone onto the field. And Whitehaven haven't got a 4 there, so it will be Ben Pearce who comes off when Ethan Bickerdike is allowed on the field. Goes left now into the hands of Ben Pearce, who's brought down 3 or 4 metres short of halfway. Kieran Walker passes it up to Adam Turnbull. He'll take Whitehaven over halfway. Into the hands of Walker. Walker then now finds Brett Bailey. So that's all of the interchanges used for Whitehaven. Ben Pearce has caused pain out there, but he'll now come off after Ethan Bickerdike is okay to go back into the centre position. Jack Newbegin on the 5 and last gets the kick in. It's end over end. Jordan Burns is on the chase. Can't put too much pressure on Billy Walkley, and he's nearly through there. He's Walkley, but taken down on his front, 22 metres away from his own line. See Matty Marsh has dived in there at dummy half as they're interchanging the hookers. The Eagles, Cody Johnson comes on to replace Harry Bowles. Johnson lining weight at dummy half. Looking to come down this short side with Joel Farrell. Steps back towards the middle, does Farrell, and trying to drag him backwards there to Whitehaven. Newbegin's in there, Holiday was in there, Burns was in there. Too much interference at the play of the ball. That one is justified, Pete. They just kept hold on to Joel Farrell a bit too long, and it's going to be a penalty to the Eagles, 10 short of halfway.
Yeah, it's poor that really, just towards the back end of the set, and they're giving a penalty away, so it's more or less like a 6 again play, isn't it really? So, you know, little things that they can clamp down on is just them little things, and you know, I'm sure Anthony Murray will have a word with half time with just them 2 or 3 percenters that we mentioned from before.
Hodgson takes a tap and it's Farrell once again to take it forward. Good clattering tackle, but he gets up and he hasn't played that. Hasn't played that at all. I was going to say, initially we had played on as Kevin Moore. Joel Farrell's got up and tried to play too quickly, Pete, and he's been judged to have not played it correctly. He's come down head and feet to Whitehaven.
No, he's having a word with the linesman, but I mean, he did drop it. Stone Cold dropped it there, so you know he's got no argument really. He's not going to. I've never known an official change their mind yet when they do things like that. So, you know, he's wasting his breath.
Absolutely. So it'll be scrum down head and feet to Whitehaven as the floodlights are just making their way on here at the recreation ground.
And about time too.
Electric's expensive these days, Pete. You know that. Ethan Bickerdike's the man to fetch it forward. Escaped 2 and 3 tackles before being brought down there as Ethan Bickerdike just short of the Whitehaven 40. Goes left. McQuiston now looking to fetch it forward. Done well there as McQuiston. Put down on halfway. Holgate finds Walker, brings across then to Aaron Turnbull, and Turnbull met by 3 Sheffield Eagles defenders. A lot of calls from offside from behind my right shoulder. Holgate in there at dummy half and scoots and finds then Jack Newbegin. Ball lost up on contact from Jack Newbegin. Joel Farrell's in there, still looking frustrated for his error in the previous set. Trying to get up and play the ball. He's played it off the mark. Jordan Burns was lying where that mark is, so maybe 6 and 1 half of the dozen as the other. Kevin Moore has seen it on halfway of the plate now. Johnson goes right into the hands then of Harry Bowes. Sorry, Connor Bower, my apologies. Johnson into the hands then of Lilly. He's taken down, put down onto his back is Jordan Lilly. Comes left now into the hands of Kai Morgan. Morgan runs across the line before finding Jack Bussey. It just into the 29th minute. Still 0-0 here at the recreation ground. Completion set's quite high as well, so it's not due to the conditions out there. Griffin, oh, that's nearly intercepted by Connor Holiday. Just couldn't keep hold. Could the Whitehaven vice captain, most experienced man out there in the chocolate blue and gold for Whitehaven, and it'll be scrum down head and feet to the Eagles. 28 and a half on the clock. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online, 0-0.
I think he thought he was maybe going to be under the sticks there as soon as he got it, but I mean, what you're going to do is catch the ball first and go. But it was unlucky off Connolly on this side. Really, you know, that could have been differently if he'd have caught it and sent his winger away. So it wasn't, and you know, Whiteham's going to defend their own line again.
Ball goes right from the base of the scrum into the hands of Lilly. Then finds Kieran Gill. Gill looks to step back inside, but Walker's there. Bickerdike's there, trying to take him over the touch line. I think that was Craig Lingard behind as he shouted, he must be held. Lilly then finds Connor Bauer once more. Taken down. 16, 17 metres out here. Johnson comes left into the hands of Fitzsimmons. Then comes into to Morgan and Matty Marsh. Then finds Josh Hodgson. Marsh in there at dummy half. Comes right. Morgan. Griffin. Griffin's going to be taken down. 5 metres out. Going to the right hand side where Peyton Smith has just pointed. Lilly. Fantastic tackle from Ethan Bickerdike, but it wasn't quite completed. Great tackle to stop him, but couldn't complete it. Bussy now gets the offload away. Johnson. And it's Aaron Turnbull who eventually completes the tackle on the 5 and last now. 10 metres out, just in line with the right-hand side post. Attacking the Kells end in this first half. Morgan with a kick towards the corner. Derek Eggleston collects. They're going to try and force him behind the try line, but they can't do so. Great work there from Dave Eccleston. Whitehaven going to be made to work hard here. Jordan Burns is the man to fetch this ball forward. He'll only make 3 or 4 metres. Dave Eccleston now looking to try and take his side forward. Second tackle. 10 metres away from his own line here. Cole Walker-Taylor's in a dummy half. Mitchell Todd, the outside backs, helping the Whitehaven forwards here. 13 metres out on the third tackle. Holgate in a dummy half. Goes left. Brad Brennan now trying to take his side forwards. Made 10 metres there. Has Brad Brennan. Well, that's the 5 and last. According to referee Kevin Moore. I think he might have miscounted unless I've missed one. That is going to be collected by Matty Marsh, 40 metres out, and then finds the winger in Billy Walkley. And Walkley will take his side over halfway before being put back behind it by Connor Holliday and Jordan Burns. Jack Newbegin involved there as well. Comes down this short left-hand side with Joel Farrell. Farrell hands off Jack Newbegin. Eccleston collects and Jack Newbegin goes in and helps him bring him down at the second attempt. But the Eagles are 30 metres out here, 10 in from this grandstand touch line. Johnson then finds Bussy. Will find Lilly. Now finds Kieran Gill. And then it'll be Joe Brown in that right-hand side. Brought down by Mitchell Todd. Comes left into the hands of Connor Bauer. And Bauer's going to be brought down. Kieran Walker in there as alongside Rio McQuiston. Into the hands now of Jordan Lilly. Lilly running towards the line before finding Morgan. Morgan then puts a kick in over the top and Dave Eccleston had come in. Top 20. Just caught out there ever so slightly was Dave Eccleston and it nearly cost Whitehaven. But in the end up it's going to be what would be a... No, it hasn't played it on the mark. So it's got now to be a controlled restart. Exactly 32 minutes on the clock, Pete. 8 till half time.
Yeah, Joel Farrell, he made a run down the blind side here, and he looked for Jack Newbig in it. And obviously, you know, every team does it. They try and isolate the half-back and trying to get to them. And on this occasion, he just pushed him down and pushed him to the floor, and that's where the oncoming kick came from behind from there. But you know, both teams are making a good fist of it there, and you know, the handling's been fantastic on both sides.
Calling for the high tackle there on Cole Walker-Taylor. Nothing given by any of the officials, so Brad Brennan will now be the man to try and take Whitehaven forward here. He's done well there as Brennan to get Whitehaven within 5 metres over the halfway line. Centre field. Holgate goes left into the hands of Walker, who pops it up to Rio McQuiston. Brought down. Holgate once more in there at dummy half into the hands of Adam Turnbull. Had to go behind it. It's Adam Turnbull. He's 1-on-1. He's got Jack Newbig in there. I think that's the right decision from Adam Turnbull to go himself, but it is the 5 and last. Holgate in there. Goes left. Kieran Walker looks to put the kick in behind. Can Whitehaven get there? They can. Mitchell Todd in that left-hand side corner. And that all comes from the break from Adam Turnbull. There was calls of a forward pass in the build-up from the Sheffield Eagles. Whitehaven won't care a jot. Mitchell Todd, who scored 4 in 20 appearances last season, who goes 1 from 1 this afternoon here at the recreation ground. We're into the 34th minute. Whitehaven hit the front. It's Whitehaven 4, Sheffield Eagles 0.
Yeah, prior to that, I was just going to mention about Aaron Turnbull. I mean, every time he's took a ball on, he's found his front and he's got a quick play of the ball. And on this occasion, you know, there was acres of space, and he took the right decision in keeping hold of the ball, and for Kieran Walker to take it left and just slot the ball through on the in the dead ball for Mitchell Todd to score. So you know, it's good patience from Whitehaven, and that's what they must learn, and on this occasion they have. You know, with 34 minutes gone there, it's the first score, and you know, Whitehaven running high, they'll be 85-90% really, and Sheffield are probably round about the same, but you know, they've really done well. They've hung in there, and and as I said from the start of the game, they've got to put pressure on the Sheffield attack and defence at times. So you know, they've done really well, but you know, that's a poor conversion attempt from the Whitehaven guy. But as I say, you know, they've got the first spoils on the board.
Yeah, unsuccessful there from Kieran Walker. He just didn't connect it at all. Maybe a little slip in the build-up.
But he's had a fantastic game up until now, Kieran Walker. You know, he's dropping them off. He's putting them in the holes. And on this occasion, he put an inch-perfect kick there. So, you know, he's done really well.
You can see why he wants to be starting week in, week out. Didn't get that at his previous club. Elected, for whatever reason, to go back to the community club under Gus Fraser. Now back in the number 6 shirt at Whitehaven, and Whitehaven will be very thankful for it, Pete.
Yeah, well, he has done well, and he has been the standout halfback on this pitch there today. So, you know. And
when you're going up against someone like Jordan Lilly, that is a big compliment out there.
Well, of course it is, yeah.
So Brett Bailey will be the man to fetch Whitehaven forward from the kick-off. Farrell, Lewis Peachy has just been introduced, and Connor Fitzsimmons all involved in that tackle. Walker Taylor down at dummy half, and now Dave Eccleston. Wrapped up is Eccleston, 23 metres out, centre field. We make it just under 4.5 to go to the half-time break. That isn't official, as Brad Brennan is taken down. Now into the hands of Adam Turnbull, who's looked good since he's come on from the bench.
See again, you know, he's finding his front. He's getting the quick play of the ball for Ellison Holgate to jump out.
Brett Bailey will take Whitehaven over halfway. 2 metres over halfway on what is the 5 and last. Holgate in there at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of Walker, who's been doing the majority of the kicking this afternoon. Matty Marsh is coming a long way for that one. He's had to slide for it, Matty Marsh, but does well to keep hold of it on his 200th career appearance, and he's taken down 25 away from his own line.
Yeah, it was a great take, especially, you know, in these conditions. He's sometimes, you know, some players might just leave that there and let it bounce and bounce awkwardly, but, you know, he did really well.
The calls are forward. It wasn't from where we were, as Kieran Gill's taken down 8 short of halfway. Johnson in there at dummy half now finds George Griffin, and Griffin finds his front. Johnson once more in at dummy half. Will go right to Connor Fitzsimmons. 5 and last, 38 metres away of the Eagles. Johnson will go right into the hands of Jordan Lilly. End over end. Cole Walker-Taylor's in there, collects it, steadies himself as Cole Walker-Taylor, the former Waff Brown, of course, Workington man last season. He's brought down 18 metres away from his own line. There's now Mitchell Todd. Nearly through the line there was Mitchell Todd. Whitehaven ending this first half on the front foot here is Ethan Bickerdike. The outside backs helping their forwards once more here. 38 metres away from their own line here are Whitehaven. Brett Bailey and all now take it forward. He's aimed to be try and get it as far forward as he can. We make it 2.5 to go to the half-time hooter. Newbegin looking to take this line on here. It's going to be the 5 and last, is that? Yeah, just short of halfway. It's going to come right into the hands of Jordan Burns. And when your half-back's taking out the action, Jordan Burns in at centre isn't a bad option, and he bounced just into the hands of Billy Walkley. But a good tackle on the winger to fetch him down. Newbegin and Burns combining there. Bauer once more now trying to take. He's got through a lot of work in this first half as Connor Bauer. Halfway now into the hands of Farrell. Will find Morgan forward from Hodgson, and that comes off Billy Walkley. Trying to rush it here are the Eagles. And there's a lot of rugby league yet to be played, Pete.
Well, that's pressure from Whitehaven doing. I mean, really, Sheffield, all they need to do is just be a bit more patient with their attack. You know, give themselves another yard in attack. But you know, Whitehaven's defence are making them hurry and, you know, and forcing that error that they surely, you know, they shouldn't be doing. But, you know, obviously Craig Lingard, he's a smart coach. He knows what's what here, and, you know, what he'll be doing is looking at the things that they can do better for this second half. But and, you know, and so will Anthony Murray when you know, he gets his lads back in there.
Got a stoppage. Rio McQuiston just down in back play. Looks to be sort of the ankle region.
Cramp.
Well, that's not a good sign just before half time, is it? But it is a boggy pitch out there.
Especially on this pitch, yeah. You know, it's you're going to be feeling it, and obviously, you know, it's probably the second competitive game this year, or, you know, in pre-season, and this is you know, the first game of the new season, so you know they're going to be feeling it on here.
Jordan Burns gets a piece of advice from the crowd. I think laughing to our left hand side is Ellis Nixon. That was keep them going, Jordan. The Whitehaven captain just put his thumbs up towards his teammate. Not involved this afternoon, Ellis Nixon, just in the grandstand to our left hand side. Rio McQuiston okay to continue, going to look to take his place in the scrum. We make it 1:05 to the half time break. Got a few behind us, timekeeper this afternoon. So this could be the final set of the half, depending on how Whitehaven play it here. Scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven. Newbegin in there at dummy half. Will go left from the base of the scrum into the hands then of Ethan Bickerdike. And Bickerdike brought down 43 metres away from the Eagles line. Holgate lying in wait at dummy half. It's a slow play of the ball. It'll find Brad Brennan, and Brennan makes 5-6 metres. Comes right from the play of the ball into the hands then of Aaron Turnbull. Trying to look for options there was Aaron Turnbull. Eventually had to take it on his own and brought down still short of the Eagles 30. Newbegin finds Connor Holliday. Put down onto his back is Connor Holliday. Holgate in at dummy half. Will go left. Eventually into the hands of Bickerdike, who gets to the Weir, and then going to be kicked forward by Kieran Gill. Gill's going to kick it once more. Mitchell Todd is just going to outrun Kieran Gill, and I'm quite grateful Mitchell Todd's there, because 10 seconds before we had it, there is the half-time hooter. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago that would have been a foot race. Thankfully it isn't, Pete, and Whitehaven go in 4-0 at the half-time break.
Yeah, Mitchell Todd did very well there. I mean, obviously Kieran Gill put the kick through, and he just flew right past him to save what was probably a certain try. But you know, that's the kind of effort that Whitehaven's going to be needing, you know, in this second half. But you know, they've did a lot of good work here, and you know, it's up to both coaches now just to iron out what they need to be shown for this second half. But you know, it's all well and good on Whitehaven's part on this side, and you know they'll be feeling it. But as I'll say, it's a good test for this week and next week.
It certainly is. 4-0 to the good for Whitehaven. A fairly even 40 minutes. It's the break from Aaron Turnbull that then allowed.
And you know, and try and get the spoils.
And it's something Whitehaven are going to have to continue in this second half as well. They'll kick off in this second half. They'll be attacking the Kells end in this second half as well. Jordan Burns kicks off, collected by Jordan Lee, and then there's the prop forward in Peachy coming off the back fence. Great defence there from Aaron Turnbull. Holgate comes in to complete it. George Griffin will now be the man to take the Eagles forward here. 22 metres away from their own line here to the Eagles is Joel Farrell now looking to take it forward. Smile on the face of the Eagles head coach. You just greeted him there, Pete, but he might not be completely happy with what he's saying out there, as Cody Johnson has just been taken down on halfway. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank here, as Connor Fitzsimmons will take his side over halfway.
Connor Fitzsimmons, in a way, he's a bit like Aaron Turnbull. He's a queer shape, but as I say, he's very effective, and you know that's what you need in games like this. People to be have an effect on the game.
Cole Walker-Taylor collects the kick on the full. Newbegin in there at dummy half. Eccleston will go down that short right hand side, the popular side for those who know this recreation ground. Gets up and plays the ball. Newbegin's in there at dummy half. Jordan Burns, the Whitehaven captain, trying to take his side forward here, but he's met by a chorus of the Eagles defenders. Brought down just over 30 metres away from his own line, and it's Newbegin once more. 37 metres away from his own line here. It's slow from Whitehaven. Pass to Walker wasn't the best as they get the kick in. Didn't hear the 5 and last call, and it's allowed to bounce by Matty Marsh, and it'll bounce kindly into the hands of Joe Brown, 20 metres away from his own line, and he's trying to find a gap in the Whitehaven defence. He's not going to find a gap in the Whitehaven defence, because there was Brett Bailey, Aaron Turnbull and Connor Holliday, the third man in.
Yeah, that's what you need. You know, you need everybody up in the line, and you know, nobody to jump out and create a hole for Joe Brown, because without a doubt Joe Brown will seek that option and he'll take it on.
Jordan Lee nearly through there following the pass from Caden Gill, trying to get a fast play the ball. 6 again, calls referee Kevin Moore. just had that last attempt. There was one too many in the eyes of referee Kevin Moore, and it's now Joel Farrell on that left-hand side who's broke through. Oh, the option there was there for Matty Marsh, but he gets the offload away into the hands of Josh Hodgson, but Hodgson is taken down. They're well and surely knocking on the door now. Here are the Eagles, just 2.5 minutes into the second half. Ball comes right. Couple of pairs of hands before finding Fitzsimmons. He'll get it across to Peachy, trying to get his arm free there is Lewis Peachy, but the Whitehaven defenders do have him wrapped up. 8 metres out, in line with the left-hand side post. Ball will come right into the hands of Fitzsimmons once more. The Cumbrian taken down just short of the line. Johnson in there at dummy half, comes right into the hands of Jordan Lilly. Comes out the back lane to Caden Gill. Gill's in his right-hand side corner. Exploited the gap there, did Caden Gill, and the Eagles hit back straight after halfway, and it all comes from that silly 6 again that's been given. Trying to slow Jordan Lilly down, and just 4 minutes into the second half, the Eagles hit back. Whitehaven 4, Sheffield Eagles 4.
Yeah, you could see from the the intent from the Sheffield players that they were running prior to that. Joel Farrell, he made a great break down that left-hand side, and again they were patient. Jordan Lilly just put a pass out on his far side, and the centre scored, and it gives Jordan Lilly probably a better chance of trying to convert it, but it's back to square one now, and Whitehaven will have to get themselves back in the game.
Certainly will. Jordan Lilly kicked 55 goals in Bulls colours last season, and he'll be looking to try and add the extras for his new side here. His first competitive action in Eagles colours. He's going to be a metre in from this right hand side touchline. Will come at it right footed. Will Jordan Lilly probably not the angle he wants, being the right footed kicker, but will take his steps back. Clock stopped. 44 and a half gone here at the recreation ground. Comes forward now, does Lilly, takes it right footed. Jordan Lilly falls behind the near right hand side post, so it's still 4-4 here at the recreation ground, and that's what Whitehaven can't afford to do. We praise them for their high completion rate in the first half, but they did concede more penalties and more 6 against in that first half. It's come back to bite them in the early stage of the second. You can't give this Sheffield side an opportunity.
No, you can't. I mean, you can't expect the effort that you put in the first half to fold over into the second half, and what they've got to be doing is the basics right, and just keeping to the game, and looking after the ball and looking after the tackle. But as I say, that 6 again has caught them, and them the little 2 or 3 percenters that we've talked about in the early part of the first half. Pushing
Connor Bauer back there. He was the man fetching the ball forward from the kick-off. Bickerdike and Walker in there at marker. Bickerdike involved once more now as Lewis Peachy is fetching this ball forward. Brett Bailey involved there as well. 23 metres away from their own line here. Lilly then finds Fitzsimmons, and Fitzsimmons will try and break his way through the line, but brought down. Combination of Aaron Turnbull and Ellison Holgate goes left into the hands of Morgan. Will now find Joel Farrell, and the Eagles captain will bounce off one before being brought down at the second attempt. Brad Brennan involved in that one alongside the vice captain in Connor Holliday. George Griffin now, the former Super League man, helping his side out here. Finds his front on the 5 and last, just over halfway, goes left into the hands of Kai Morgan. Morgan gets the kick, it's a high one, end over end. Oh, and it's Cole Walker-Taylor slipped. He didn't look really comfortable ever going for that ball, Pete. Maybe it was a bit too deep. It was collected by the Eagles man. Walker-Taylor's affected the tackle, and it's going to be a turnover ball on that right-hand side edge.
Yeah, he's got away with it there, really. I can't really see from over there. He did well. I mean, obviously to get under the ball, there was a lot of pressure on him. There was the winger and the centre on that side coming right at him, and I think he more or less took it on his back, but must have been a knock-on from Sheffield. But it was good from Cole Walker-Taylor, but you just see this half now that it just looks like Sheffield stepped it up a yard.
Penalty for Whitehaven, first penalty of the second half. Coach killers, Pete, when you've got your side, they've been able to put the pressure on in that side, and then they've now just lost 25 metres.
That's the first penalty for Whitehaven that I've got down. I've got 4 penalties against, and Whitehaven with 1, but here we go now. They've just got to put some structure in and finish with a good back end of the set.
Brad Brennan, the man to try and take his side forward here. Found his front. Does Brennan. Holgate in there at dummy half. Will go left. Into the hands then of Adam Turnbull. Turnbull finds his front once more. Holgate in there at dummy half, 35 metres out. Coming down this short left hand side with Walker. We'll find Cole Walker-Taylor, the full-back, joining the play. 21 metres out. Holgate in, dummy half, goes right. Walker pops it up for Brett Bailey. He'll find his front as well. Will the former Widnes Viking. Holgate looking to come down this short side with Cole Walker-Taylor. Just sort of slips there, does Cole Walker-Taylor. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank, is there? No, it's 5 and last. Always late calls. Coming down this left-hand side. Ethan Bickerdike trying to get his hands free. Get to the Weir to Ellison Holgate. Holgate fancies it back. Cole Walker-Taylor finds Kieran Walker. Just need to try and get it free here to Whitehaven. Books the kicking behind. It's going to have to be dealt with eventually. Kick dead. Didn't give up there, did Whitehaven, but neither did the Sheffield Eagles, Pete. It was a funny piece of play, but eventually lined up with the goal line dropout.
Yeah, they just went down the short side, and they kept the ball alive, and every defence will be scattered regarding that. I mean, but they did really well with the ball. They were passing it probably with about a yard in between the try line and the ball, and what they did, they put the pressure on the Sheffield line, and they've come out second best there, i.e. with the end of it, because they've got to drop out underneath the sticks. So White was going to be attacking the Kells end now.
Jordan Lilly with the dropout, makes good contact on that dropout, comes off the shins of Brad Benham on halfway before he collects and runs it forwards. He's made 15 plus metres there before being brought down. Has Brad Brennan just short of the 30 metre line. Adam Turnbull will take Whitehaven over that halfway line. Peachy's trying to get the big shot on, but Turnbull was okay and span out the tackle before being brought down by Fitzsimmons. It's in the hands of Newbegin now. He'll find Connor Holliday, and Holliday's now going to be taken down 21 metres out. Holgate in there at dummy half. Will come left now into the hands of Jack Newbegin. He'll find Brennan once more out the back then to Kieran Walker, letting you exactly what was coming there. Good work from the Eagles half-back. I'm going to stoppage. He's twisted his ankle as Kieran Walker. I've got a stoppage in play.
Yeah, that's going to be a blow to Whitehaven if Kieran Walker goes off.
Yeah, I think it just sort of got stuck in the mud there, didn't it, Pete, as they were sort of twisting him round on a firmer surface. That likely doesn't happen.
No, there was nothing in it really.
No, nothing at all.
It was just obviously the conditions played its part, and he just let out a shriek of pain there. So I mean, hopefully he can carry on. But
we'll just go through some scores from elsewhere. In the Challenge Cup, it finished Siddle 14, Waterhead 22, 2 full times in the Championship. Barrow 40, Workington 0, Midlands 10, Newcastle 28. Elsewhere, quite relatively close. Caden Walker's okay to continue. Doncaster 12, Halifax 12, Hunslet 12, Dewsbury 16, Keighley 18, Gould 6, London 2012, Widnes 12, Swinton 2, Rochdale 0. 4-4 here at the recreation ground, back underway. It is the 5 and last. McQuiston was the man to take the ball in. Looking to come down this short side there once more. They're not. Holgate will get the kick in from dummy half. Collected low by Matty Marsh. Very well collected by Matty Marsh. Holgate helps effecting the tackle. Turnbull completes it.
Yeah, it was great pick up from his ankles there from Matty Marsh. I mean, Ellison Holgate put a kick through for himself. Really, it was probably a bit selfish on his part, but as I say, he saw the white line and away he went.
The Eagles now looking to try and take the ball forward here. But Connor Bauer taken down. Johnson in there. Craig Lingard not happy. Something just behind us, could hear him through my headphones. Continue to fetch his ball forward. Discipline was a call from Whitehaven. Out there you could hear that once again. And then they've caught the man high. And it's a penalty. First penalty of the second half they conceded of Whitehaven, 5th overall. And we've got a stoppage. Can't quite see who it is down from here, but the Sheffield Eagles physios with him, and the doctors made their way onto the field as well. And we've just said something, Pete. We said it's something Whitehaven can't do. They can't gift field possession and territory to the Sheffield side, because they want to try and get the 2 points. They're a very dangerous side as well.
Well, from Ellison Holgate's kick from there, I mean, really, maybe, just settle yourself, have a bit of patience, just put a kick in from Kieran Walker or whatever, but obviously he kicked it from half back, and from that, you just look at the fall down from there. They're going to kick from the 30-metre line. They're probably going to get to halfway, and they're going to be attacking the Whitehaven half. So little things just mean a lot.
Jordan Lilly will put the ball into touch. He'll make 30 metres there. Will Jordan Lilly. Brown will pick it up. Finds Kieran Gill, who was the man who that high tackle was against, and Lewis Peachy is now fetching this ball forward, tries to get away from Adam Turnbull but can't do so. Connor Holliday involved there as well. Ben Pearce getting ready to come on for Whitehaven down below us. Jack Keller getting ready to be reintroduced as well in their next attacking set. Johnson will come right into the hands of Lilly, comes into the hands now. Connor Bauer calls for a forward pass once more.
It's a great line from Connor Bauer there.
Johnson in there at dummy half, will go left into the hands of Lilly. Fitzsimmons back inside then to George Griffin. Griffin's then going to be taken down. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank here. Will come right. Peachy with the sidestep. He's going to be taken down, is Lewis Peachy, but they're knocking on the door here are the Eagles. Within half a metre at a maximum. Is it the 5 and last? Lilly looks to put the kick in behind. Kieran Gill. One-handed collection from Kieran Gill. Fantastic from the former Bradford Bull. Scored 15 tries in 23 appearances for the Bulls last season. As we just tick over into the 53rd minute here at the recreation ground, it's his second of the afternoon for Kieran Gill. It's the Eagles' second. It's Haven 4. It's Sheffield 8.
Well, that was a bit of magic there from Jordan Lilly. He just put an inch perfect kick. He just put for the oncoming. He just bounced right in his hands, and he had no problem just stepping the Whitehaven defender, put the ball down just beside the sticks, and it's probably going to give them. Well, it will give them a 6-point advantage there now. So, as I mentioned, them the little things that you've got to do up the far side of the field. And, Sheffield's line, and they've come back to this area, and they've scored a try, which just adds insult to injury, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Ben Pearce and Jack Keller being brought on. Ben Pearce for his first official involvement in the game. First come on earlier in the game as a head assessment interchange. They replaced Rio McQuiston and Jack Keller respectively. So Rio McQuiston and Adam Turnbull. Jack Keller's on the field. Lilly does have the extras, so it is now Haven 4, Eagles 10, all 10 points. Well, both of the tries at least, Pete, coming from Whitehaven, gifting this Sheffield side possession and territory. Yeah,
Whitehaven's had 3 sets this half. Sheffield's had 4, and in them 4 sets, Sheffield scored 2 tries. So, it's telling you something here. Obviously Whitehaven's going to get tired, and Sheffield maybe stepped it up a bit, but they've still got a game, and if they can get another try, who knows what's going to happen. But
Jordan Burns puts the ball down on the kick and tee. Kick-off comes in. Looking for that area where sort of Connor Bauer is once more, and it's Josh Hodgson who'll actually end up collecting it. Sorry, Joe Brown then ends up collecting it. And Corey Johnson will be in there at dummy half. 20 metres out are the Eagles. Lewis Peachy pick him up and dump him backwards to Whitehaven. Jack Keller involved, and Ellison Holgate. The 2 leading men from last season combining there. Connor Fitzsimmons trying to take his side forward now. The Cumbrian brought down 28 metres away from his own line. Incorrect. Play the ball. Looks it from here. Waves it away. Does referee Kevin Moore. There's plenty calling for it. They get the offload away. The Eagles eventually going to be brought down just short of halfway now. 10 in from the popular side touchline. And it'll be Josh Hodgson that plays the ball. Kai Morgan comes across then to George Griffin. And Griffin will stand up and take his side over halfway. Just not getting the calls they feel they deserve with Whitehaven, but Jordan Lee puts the kick in on what wasn't the 5 and last, so he's just trying to catch Whitehaven out. Cole Walker-Taylor tries to trap it with his foot before collecting it and finding Mitchell Todd, and Todd's going to be brought down. Does well, does Mitchell Todd, to go backwards an extra metre or 2, just over the 20 metre line. Walker-Taylor in there at dummy half. We'll then find now Ethan Biggerdyke. Biggerdyke makes 10, 11 metres, trying to find his front. Holgate in there at dummy half. Short side with Ben Pearson. Lilly's in there and Connor Bauer's in there, bringing him down. Former Hensingham Junior. Holgate, and they'll find Kieran Walker. Pop it up then to Jack Kellett. Still not over halfway here to Whitehaven, despite all the hard work they've put in. Kellett's what? Inches short now of halfway. He'll play it on halfway by the time he gets up. Into the hands now of Brett Bailey. And Bailey will be brought down. 5 and last. 41 metres away from the Eagles line. Comes left into the hands of Walker. Walker's kick goes high. Collected 11, 12 metres out by Matty Marsh. Ben Pearce does well to slow him down. Walker then fetch him down. Calls for taking him over the horizontal. Gets up and plays the ball. Joe Brown now fetching it forward. Walker gets involved in that tackle. Brett Bailey gets re-involved as well. Whitehaven know they need to keep the intensity up if they're going to try and get anything from this contest. Shot on Kai Morgan. I said it was Johnson, it was Morgan, then had to dive in at dummy half. Joel Farrell now trying to limit the Eagles' yards here. Kellett's trying to get in at marker. Calls for a knock on. It is a knock on. Second time he's done that. And that's all stemmed from the intensity and the pressure that Whitehaven's put on, Pete. They know they can't afford to go 2 behind in this contest. 16 and a half minutes gone in the second half and force the error. Scrum down, well, play the ball as it is these days. 35 metres away from the Eagles line.
Yeah, it's the second time Joel Farrell's been guilty of that, not looking after the ball really. And I mean, I thought, you know, when Whitehaven was doing a bit of defence, it got a bit scruffy there, and I thought they might give a penalty away because they must have been right on the cusp. But as I say, you know, the referees let it away, and, you know, and Joel Farrell, being the experienced player that he is, you know, he's come up with a poor error.
Brad Brennan takes Whitehaven forward. That will be first tackle. 27 metres out. Walker goes right to Newbegin. He'll then find Connor Holliday on that right hand side. 18-ish metres out here to Whitehaven. Newbegin comes across then to Jack Kellett. Just had to wait for it slightly, did Kellett, and was wrapped up pretty much by the time he got the ball. Brennan comes left. Just trying to run it forward is the big man. Put down onto his back, 9 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the post, attacking the Kells end in this second half. Will come left into the hands of Caden Walker. Walker looks to put the kick in behind. Oh, Matty Marsh's dive on it, but he's knocked on there. He saved a certain 4 points as Matty Marsh. A certain 4 points, but he's gifted a try. Well, he's gifted the scrum down, but like you say, he saved a certain 4-pointer. It'll be scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven. Ethan Bickerdike would have been the man diving on that if Marsh's intervention didn't take place.
Yeah, again, Caden Walker, you know, he just put a kick through. You know, they don't know really what to do with Caden Walker today. He's had a fantastic game, but as I say, you know, he just needs to just keep it on and just keep mixing his game up like what he has been. Walker
will feed the scrum. Ball goes right into the hands of Jack Newbegin. Into the hands of then Jordan Burns. Potentially should have gone to Walker Taylor out the back. There was a 2-on-1. Holgate in there at dummy half. Comes left into Brad Brennan. Brennan's just going to be hauled down short of the line. Half a metre out, just to the right hand side of the post. Eventually comes to Kieran Walker. Walker has to step up and look for his options in front of him. Pass wasn't the cleanest. He's eventually taken down 5 metres out to the left hand side of the post now, halfway between the post and the touchline. Holgate in there at dummy half. Into the hands of Brett Bailey. The forwards trying to barge their way over here. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank. Holgate once more in at dummy half. Pops it up then for Brad Brennan. Held up over the line, and it is the 5 and last. When Brennan goes and plays this ball, they'll be 10 metres out of Whitehaven. Kick to the corner maybe. Jordan Burns and Dave Eccleston, especially Jordan Burns, he's screaming for it on that right hand edge.
He'll go to Caden Walker there, and you know, if he's anything about it, he'll just keep it down the short side.
They are coming down the short side. Walker looking to get the kick in behind once more. Taken out there is Caden Walker. Absolutely cleared out. Bickerdike and Bauer going for it now. He was taken out, Caden Walker. Got to be a penalty. Doctor and both physios are with him. Taken out. Got to be a penalty, surely. He wasn't going to give everything initially. Was Kevin Moore. Even Bickerdike searching for the retribution for his teammate. He's flat out. On both sides, as it all just meeting of the minds as it is these days, more discussions than anything else. But he was clattered, was the Whitehaven halfback, and Whitehaven to be saying, sir, it's got to be a penalty.
I'll tell you the truth there, John. I was following the ball. I just seen the ball come off Caden Walker's foot, and I followed the ball, but obviously I didn't see who'd hit him. I mean, obviously with the lights being like what they are down here, I didn't really see him, but obviously, for the players to react like what they did, obviously something's gone on, and nobody likes that.
The fact that we've got a stoppage, obviously got a chance to speak to his touch judge now, and he's being hauled from the field, is Kieran Walker, so it's going to be a change in at half-back. You'd imagine Jordan Burns dives in there. Rio McQuiston is the man that's going to get told to go back onto the field. All that may get taken into consideration. He's called both captains out as referee Kevin Moore. Burns and Farrell in front of him. It goes on report. Now, back in the old days, if it went on report, it used to have to be a penalty. And Whitehaven, no, you won't get the penalty. Back in the days of old, if it was on report, it was a penalty. These days, they've removed that law from the game. But
that's probably damaged Whitehaven a bit more than what it has Sheffield. So, they've got away with it in a way, but I think what's he got now? 15 minutes before it can come back on.
15 live minutes, before it can come back on. Whitehaven are up for this now. One of their own has been taken out, and they're going to try and find retribution here. However, they need to do it legally. They are in these two sets. The Eagles have found no meters in the first two tackles. Jack Bussey will find some meters. It's not very often you'll stop him. Bailey and McQuiston involved there. Coming down this short side now. Bauer. 30 metres away from their own line here are the Eagles. Jordan Lilly looking for the potential 40-20, but Dave Eccleston is back there. He'll collect it on his own 30, will Dave Eccleston. Jordan Thompson getting ready to come back on for Whitehaven. Walker Taylor in there at dummy half. Dave Eccleston made it to his own 40 here. Mitchell Todd's now trying to find. There's a spice in this game out there, Peter.
Yeah, the crowd are, they're trying to incite the referee to give a penalty away. So, it's down to Sheffield now not to, to take the bait.
To give him an opportunity to make a decision. Plays in on halfway, does McQuiston, as Jordan Thompson, who replaced Brad Brennan, is out there now. Jordan Burns in at halfback. To replace Kieran Walker. Jack Kellett takes the ball forward. As Holgate lies in wait at dummy half, 35 metres out to Whitehaven. Go down that right hand side with Brett Bailey. He'll straight up and just take the line on Will Bailey. 30 metres out now. Couple of tackles left in the bank. Into the hands then of Jack Newbegin. Out the hands then to Burns. Finds Walker Taylor. Finds Biggerdike. 18 metres or so out here to Whitehaven. I was expecting that to be the 5 and last. Walker Taylor scoots from dummy half. And he's made 13, 14, 15 metres there as Cole Walker Taylor. If we missed the 6 again, Peter, I feel like we might have done. Goes right now into the hands of Jordan Thompson. Knocking on the door to Whitehaven. It's the 5 and last now. Holgate in there at dummy half. Goes right and down to Jack Kellett. Can Kellett spin his way over? He can't. He's hauled down just short. 18 minutes to go. Eagles will have to fetch it from their own line.
Yeah, good defence from Sheffield, and it had to be really to stop Whitehaven scoring. Ellison Holgate is a threat from there. Jordan Thompson just come back in. He's a bit fresh. He'll be a bit of a threat. But I mean, Jordan Lilly was down that side and he was limping around. Obviously, he's got a lot of cramp. But I mean, somebody should have spotted that and maybe had a go at him.
If Kieran Walker's out there, he maybe does. Maybe so, but the Eagles looking to try and fetch it forward now. Second tackle, the hold down 12, 13 metres away from their own line. Done well to make that metres that close to their own line there of the Eagles.
They can't afford to be ill-disciplined now and give a penalty away in Sheffield's half.
Into the hands of George Griffin. 30 metres made of the Eagles. Starting props, Martin Riley and Massey Mutongo getting ready to be reintroduced by Craig Lingard. Into the hands of Joel Farrell. Will take them over the 40. They've done very well on this set considering where they began, did the Sheffield Eagles, and that should be, is it the 5 and last? It is now as he plays it pretty much on halfway. Lilly goes high. Cole Walker Taylor underneath it. There's plenty of shadows out there at the recreation ground. What are we, 16 and a half to go as we make it. Mark Shackley being reintroduced to replace Brett Bailey. Dave Eccleston taking his side forward here. The Whitehaven man in Eccleston's taken down. Holgate. Mitchell Todd takes Whitehaven over their own 40. 5 short of halfway now. 20 in from this grandstand touchline. Come down the short side into the hands of Ethan Bickerdike. Caden Gill does well out of marker to bring him down. Holgate in there once more at dummy half. There was only one Marcus who's able to escape. Done well as Ellison Holgate. It is the 5 and last. 30 metres out. Kellett in at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of Burns. Gets a kick away right footed. Not the best kick in the world. But to be collected by Kai Morgan. Connor Holliday dives on him. The first tackle 15 metres away from the Eagles line.
You know, considering the conditions, I mean, I'd like to give both teams, because they've done really well with the handling. I mean, especially with them balls going up and putting the
Whitehaven penalised for offside.
Just a silly penalty again, you know, something that I've said that they can't afford to be doing. And, you know,
marker's not square, my apologies.
Sheffield's going to be kicking the ball. They're going to be on Whitehaven's territory in this second half, and you know they've took the heat off it again.
Connor Fitzsimmons is one of them to replace by Matongo and Riley. I imagine the other one would have been Lewis Peachy, but I haven't seen him leave the field. Jordan Liddy gets the kick in and makes that 30 metres that Peter was mentioning, and they'll start 40 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Josh Hodgson will take the tap, not in the right position, says referee Kevin Moore. Just under 15 minutes to go as we make it here at the recreation ground. Johnson, no fine, Massey Matongo. Bumps Jack Kellett, but he's able to keep involved. There was Kellett, and several other Whitehaven defenders come and got involved. Jordan Thompson and Mark Shackney being them. Riley now. Yeah, it does look like Lewis Peachy was the man that's been withdrawn alongside Connor Fitzsimmons. Johnson's in there at dummy half. Will come right into the hands of Lilly. Gets the ball away to Riley. Anthony Murray shouting there, don't wait, and he's want his defenders to get involved a little bit earlier, Pete.
Yeah, Jordan Lilly seemed to have a massive amount of time there.
Jack Bussey steps. Nearly got away from Jordan Thompson, but Thompson done well to recover and fetch the former Featherstone man down. Johnson looks to go from dummy half, then find Matongo. 5 and last. Eventually when Matongo's taken down, he'll play it now. Johnson will go right into the hands of Lilly. Lilly puts the kick in behind, and he's had to knock it dead. He done well there to turn and get there, did Mitchell Todd. And it's going to be a goal line dropout. That Lilly and Gill connection nearly combining again.
Yeah, another great kick from Jordan Lilly. You know, he's had that ball on the string most of the day, you know, especially with his kicks that he's put in, and you know, he's really stretched Whitehaven's defence when he's gone on there.
Goal line dropout comes in. Eventually, Cole Walker-Taylor has made it. Fairness, 42 metres there before being collected on the full by Joe Brown. Riley will fetch it forward, and he's then taken down. He's Martin Riley, 25-ish metres away from the Whitehaven line, attacking the railway end here at the recreation ground. Massey Matongo is now the man to take it forward, tries to spin out the tackle, brought down 20 metres out, centre field. Goes left into the hands of Kai Morgan. Morgan pops it up to Joel Farrell. Farrell looks to Shapeman dummy, goes himself. The captain's taken down 11 metres out.
Jordan Lilly's a threat here.
Will go right, bounces into the hands of Lilly, pops it up to Matty Marsh. Marsh is then going to be wrapped up. Still a couple of tackles here, 10 metres out, in line with the left hand side post. Goes left into the hands then of Kai Morgan. Looking to go down that left hand side. There's a couple of defenders who might have slipped there for Whitehaven. Got the offload away back into the hands of Morgan. Now finds Johnson. Johnson just pops it up to Riley. Caden Walker looks to have passed his HIA down below and will be okay to return by the looks of it. It is the 5 and last. They've got numbers on that left hand side of the Eagles. If they go that side, they don't. They're looking for the drop goal. Jordan Lilly. Hit comes off the right hand side post. It bounced off both posts, Pete. It bounced off both posts and come back out. It's still a 6-point ball game.
obviously that would have put 2 scores in it there. Good thinking from Jordan Lilly on that part. Was just his execution, didn't get it right there, but as I say, it was good thinking. They'd planned it out there.
You can almost hear the sharp intake of breath, especially after he hit the first post, and then, which was the right hand side post, and then hit the bottom of the left hand side post. From our position, it looked like it almost went over, but it obviously fell short, and Whitehaven now fetching it forward through Mark Shackley. Finds his front to Shackley. It is the 5 and last, 40 metres away from their own line. Goes right into the hands of Cole Walker-Taylor. Taylor gets it down the field. Matty Marsh collects it 12 away from his own line, and it's then Billy Wakely to fetch it forward, the former Keighley Cougar. Walker-Taylor affects the tackle alongside Jordan Thompson, as Joe Brown is now the man to fetch it forward. Limps away does Cole Walker-Taylor. Gets out of the tackle does Joe Brown. Put down onto his back. Coming towards the middle now with Connor Bauer. Got through a lot of work as Connor Bauer. Said his name an awful lot this afternoon. Just over 10 minutes to go as we make it here. Johnson in there at dummy half finds Martin Riley. And Riley's going to be going backwards but towards the Whitehaven try line before being turned. Johnson in there. Goes left to Kai Morgan. Trying to take the line on. He's nearly through the line there. Is Kai Morgan hauled down at the last minute. Can't quite see who it is from here. Who's that man in at market? It's Jack Newbegin. Done well there, did the Whitehaven half-back. Is that the 5 and last? It is. Not the best final play option from the Eagles. Probably the first time we've said that this half, Pete. Just under 10 minutes to go for Whitehaven to try and get back into this contest.
Yeah, all they'll be doing now is just trying to keep Whitehaven from entering in their half and trying to restrict them on yardage.
Whitehaven trying to make yardage here. First tackle, it's Dave Eccleston who was tackled. Now Mitchell Todd, the outside back's trying to get through some work again. Mitchell Todd doing well there to escape the first attempt on a tackle. Just over the 20 metre line is Mitchell Todd. Conditions are really dark out there. You'd almost want it to be maybe darker so the lights can maybe take more of an effect. Holgate gets the offload away after scooting from dummy half into the hands end of Cole Walker-Taylor. He's going to be taken down there. He's the Whitehaven fullback. 9 metres short of halfway. 8 by the time he gets up and plays it. Into the hands of Newbegin. Newbegin now looks to take the line on. He's met there by Joel Farrell. Escaped Farrell, but there was 2 that held on, which was Kai Morgan and Cody Johnson. Goes right. Cole Walker-Taylor will put the kick in. Cole Walker-Taylor judged, calls for him to be taken out, but I don't think it was. Collected on the full by Matty Marsh. Wasn't the best kick from Walker-Taylor. It means the Eagles are able to get on the front foot pretty much straight away. 8.5 to go as we make it.
Yeah, the kick could have been better. It could have made him work for it, but he just fell right in his hands, so it made it easy for him to fetch it out. Second tackle there, they're on the 40 metre line, so no doubt they're going to break the halfway.
Rio McQuiston limping away from that tackle. It looks like Kieran Walker's getting ready to come back on, so he might be withdrawn once more. There is Rio McQuiston. Calls for the forward pass behind us. Back into the hands now with Billy Wakely. Nearly through the line there was Wakely. He's struggling out there, is Rio McQuiston. Comes right now into the hands of Jack Bussey. Burns and Kellett complete the tackle. 31 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Comes down this right hand side. Leo put the kick in. Goes behind Cole Walker-Taylor. Does dive on the ball. Does the Whitehaven full-back. Knock on, is it?
I think he has, yeah. Knock on by Whitehaven.
There's players down all over the place here. Rio McQuiston is limping off as Caden Walker goes back onto the field. Clock is stopped, is it? No, but it is a scrum down heading fade to Whitehaven as Walker-Taylor couldn't take that cleanly. And it just, go on, Pete.
Yeah, you just watch this set now. They'll probably try and ice it and finish the game off there. But we just hit on the left hand side, and they'll come back to the middle, and no doubt that man Jordan Lilly will try and put one over and try not to hit the both posts this time.
Ball goes left into the hands of Morgan from the base of the scrum. We'll find the centre, Josh Hodgson, on that left hand side. Taken down, 5 metres out. Morgan in there. Joel Farrell. Wrapped up is Farrell. Johnson comes right into the hands of Martin Riley. The try here will be the dagger through Whitehaven's hearts. A metre out is Riley, in line with the right-hand side post. Comes right to Jack Bussey. Bussey's going to try and spin his way out of the tackle. Can Whitehaven keep him up? He's gone out over the line there as Jack Bussey. So it's held up over the line. Goes back 10 metres. Cody Johnson being there at dummy half. Is Lily lying in wait? He isn't at the moment.
Yeah.
Riley trying to go his way over. Lily's in the pocket now.
Yeah, they're setting up now.
Someone needs to put pressure on. It's the 5 and last. No one's putting pressure on. Jordan Lilly. There is that drop goal. Just into the 75th minute here at the recreation ground. 5 minutes 50 to go as we make it. And Lilly drop goal makes it Haven 4, Eagles 11. Been a much more composed second half performance, especially in attack, Pete, from the Eagles.
Yeah, but you could just see what they were doing there. I mean, Jordan Lilly's got a lot of experience about him. He's going to set up there. They all knew the game, what they were going to go. I mean, and I called it for what they were going to be doing. Then they just set up there, put it over. I mean, more or less game, set and match now, because that's Whitehaven's going to be needing to score 2 tries.
Are they going to look to go short here with Cole Walker-Taylor? Surely that's the only option. They do attempt to go short. Has it gone 10? It has. Goes backwards off Ben Pearce's shoulder. Whitehaven recover. Ellison Holgate stands up. It just went the 10, but it only needs to break the plane of that 10 metre line, and it did. Turnbull's now the man to fetch it forward. The Eagles need to be sure they don't give a penalty away here and gift Whitehaven an opportunity closer to their line. Aaron Turnbull steps up. 5 minutes to go as we make it. Into the hands now of Jack Keller. Turnbull. Connor Holliday making their final change are the Eagles. Comes left into the hands then of Walker. Now Holgate looking to try and step up and take his sign on as Harry Bowles is looking to come back onto the field. Back in Whitehaven's hands. Ball hit the ground but into the hands of Cole Walker-Taylor. Isn't a fresh set of 6. Goes right into the hands then of Jordan Thompson. It needs to be now from Whitehaven if they get anything. It's the 5 and last. 10 metres out. Keller has to dive in there at dummy half. Will go left into the hands of Newbegin. Crossfield kick towards his corner. He can even pick it. Can't. He'll drop it. Oh, left, right, left. Offside. Kieran Walker calls him offside. Or someone's offside. It's Walker that put the ball down. And you feel, Pete, that could be. Oh no, they've judged to have taken the man out. I think that's harsh, Pete. I might be wrong. I might look back at it not in the heat of the battle, but I think that's harsh.
Well,
to be fair, I think there was a Whitehaven knock on in the build-up anyways. So whether it should have been a penalty or scrum down, I'm not too sure. But
under these lights, I think the referee's done really well to come up with a decision from there. But that was probably, as you were saying, probably the last chance, and then they could have put a bit more pressure on the kick from there. But Sheffield will just steady it down there, put it into touch, take the set to 6, get over the halfway line, and then just drill it into touch. That's what will happen here now with all the experience them guys have got.
Massi Mutongo's the man to be withdrawn. He's just been reintroduced as Mutongo in the last sort of 10 minutes. They get the ball sort of 22, 23 metres to the Eagles.
There's no rush now, you see.
3 minutes 40 as we make it. Martin Riley fetches the ball forward.
They've been, Whitehaven's put a lot of effort in there today, and if they can learn from this, I mean, all well and good. They've really pushed Sheffield all the way, really. But as I say, they've just had that little bit extra in the tank as Sheffield.
Jack Bussey will get up and play the ball. Calling for the second effort in the tackle, doesn't get the call to go his way. Martin Riley has done well there. He's made nearly 20 metres as Martin Riley
tackle 3
before being taken down. Johnson's in there at dummy half. Will go right into the hands then of Jordan Lilly. He'll find Connor Bauer, and Bauer's taken down. It is the 5 and last. Under 3 minutes as we make it. It's just going to be taken over the touchline from Jordan Lilly. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It was right on it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Some of them you do say they are late, but Kellett was there just as he was putting the kick in. And referee Kevin Moore agrees with us, Peter.
Yeah, you've just got to be careful now. I mean, but as I said, Sheffield's done what I said they would do. They're going to drill the ball in there. This won't be a fast set of 6. They'll be getting numbers in here, just trying to slow them right down.
The Whitehaven man will play the ball. Can't quite see who it is from here. It is Jordan Burns. Newbegin in there at dummy half. Jordan Thompson is now the man to try and take Whitehaven forward here.
They've got to throw a bit of caution to the wind now as well.
Holgate in at dummy half. Under 2 minutes to go as we make it. Connor Holliday strong running on that right hand side. 30 metres away from their own line here at Whitehaven. This is the definition of now or never. Jordan Burns. 8 short of halfway. Holgate in at dummy half. Struggling with a knock, I think there, Jordan Burns. Newbegin. Looking for the 40-20, is he potentially? Just hasn't got the bounce on a firmer surface. You're likely to get it. But Joe Brown collects. And he's going to break through there. He's Joe Brown. Nearly. Turnbull's in there. As is Jack Newbegin chasing up on his own kick. Unlucky there for Whitehaven. Like I say, on a firmer day, he probably gets that. Kieran Gill is the man now to fetch it forward. 70 seconds to go as we make it. Goes left into the hands then of Martin Riley. Riley taken down, 10 short of halfway. Goes left. Is it Hanny Bowles there? Who's come back onto the field, they'll take this ball forward. 2-3 metres short of halfway.
They've needed all their experience today to see them through. Whitehaven can take great credit from this performance that they've did, but as I said, it's just be a couple of things that's let them down.
But he was given a penalty as Kevin Murray says no, that Farrell had offloaded after calling held. Plays the ball, comes into the hands of Jordan Lilly. Lilly just puts the kick in here, it'll go along the floor, he won't find touch. Walker Taylor will collect. I make it within the final 20 seconds now. Both sides have struggled to get back in the last few minutes, and same it is as Holgate gets in at dummy half. Pass, that's it. Cole Walker Taylor couldn't collect. I think that's a tired pass from Ellison Holgate, a man who's played 80 minutes out there in them conditions.
I was just about to say, Ellison Holgate had a fantastic game as well as Kieran Walker. He's played, as I say, 79 and a half minutes, and he's done real well. He's been at the forefront of everything that Whitehaven's done in attack and defence, so you can take great credit as well.
I make it, time's up, so we're in the hands of the timekeeper. That's it, yeah, pretty much. We're just waiting for the scrum to be played, I think. And it's been a great defensive effort from Whitehaven, it really has. But 2 tries in 10 second half minutes will have done them. Matty Marsh taken down. Just waiting for the hoot of the sound. There it is, that hooter. It's full time here at the recreation ground. Whitehaven couldn't hold on to their half-time lead, which come from the try from Mitchell Todd. It started the play area